Yeah, so I'm the senior technician of my family's residential HVAC company. We have about 6 employees, and last year we did 1.2 million in top line revenue. My question is, how can I best honor my family while respectfully suggesting change?
How old are you?
I'm 27.
How long have you worked there?
I'm in my 10th year.
Okay. How long ago did your dad and mom start this?
So my grandpa he's the current owner. He was the first technician ever hired by the original owner. So the company started in 1980. He bought the business in 2005. So he's owned it for 20 years. And my mom has worked with him for the last 25 years or so.
Okay, so your dad's not there?
No.
Okay, all right. And, okay, all right. Well, I think the first thing you have to do, and I think you're probably doing this, but I'm going to outline it for all the people listening anyway that are asking the same question you're asking. The first thing you have to do is you have to be like the best senior technician on the freaking planet. You got to be so good at your job and so good at leading the people, in other words, doing the job that is your job, that it earns you the right to speak up.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at 90%, you got no right to speak up. You got to be at 120%.
Right.
Okay? Because you're overcoming the fact that your grandfather remembers the time you were walking around and pooped in your diaper.
Right.
He still looks at you and sees that. He can't keep, because that's human nature, right?
Yeah.
You follow me?
Yeah.
And so, you are a very accomplished 27-year-old young man, but it is very hard for your grandpa to see you that way because that's just human nature. And the way you can overcome that and for him to start to see you in another light is you perform at such a high level that his pride in your work is about to bust his buttons. His chest is sticking out. That's first. Lay that foundation. I kind of think you're already there or close, but I'd be real careful about that, okay?
Sure.
Because sometimes Gen 2, or in your case, Gen 3, is walking around, running at a pretty good pace, and they got a bunch of ideas, and they've really not earned the right by being excellent to speak up. So that's step one. Step two is begin all conversations, and you did this already, Scott, so you're ahead of the game. Begin all conversations with honor.
Yeah.
Honoring your mom, the 20 years there, honoring your grandfather, being the first technician there, building this out. I mean, what we're saying here mathematically is he was a HVAC technician before you were a gleam in your daddy's eye.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, he just, you were there first. I mean, he was there first, so he's the GOAT. He's the original. And you got to honor that. You got to honor that and honor that. And Grandpa, I respect what you've done, what you've pulled off here, staying in business for 45 years is an anomaly. This guy's a stud.
Mm-hmm.
Your grandpa's incredible. And you need to talk about him to him and about him that way all the time. The number of companies that have gone out of business since 1980 in heat and air is a bunch, like most of them.
Yeah.
Very few companies are as old as you all are in that space.
Yeah.
So honor. This guy's the GOAT. So be careful before you come up to Peyton Manning or Tom Brady and tell them how to throw a football.
Right.
That's what we're doing here, okay? So, and if you approach it from those two positions, and then you say, I want your help telling me this is what I think I'm seeing, what am I missing?
Okay.
And I think if we did this, it might work. But I'm afraid that I'm the 27-year-old and you're the goat, and I don't know what's going on. Grandpa, tell me is this a good idea? If it's not, teach me what's wrong with it so that I can be you someday.
Sure.
And nobody hates that conversation.
Right.
Because it's laced in honor, and it's a question rather than you running around going, I'm so much smarter than everyone because I know how to use the internet.
Right.
That's just bull crap. All right. And so nobody wants that. So it's the opposite of arrogance. There's a humility to it, but it's not we're not being manipulative. You're just being truthful. Mm-hmm. The truth is your grandpa's a stud, and it'd be smart to ask him some questions about business. He probably teach you some stuff. And a good way to do that's going, I think I'm seeing this, and you've avoided a bunch of bad decisions, Grandpa, and you've made some really good ones because you've innovated and changed as you've gone along here for 45 years. So I'm seeing this. It feels like we could do this. What am I missing? What is there? Should we try that? And if not, teach me why.
Yeah.
And, he may look at you and go, that's a dadgum good idea. Let's try it.
Yeah.
You may be onto something, or he may, but that enables him to hear it. Because if you come in with just a tinge of, I've got all my crap together and you just don't know what's going on, he's going to look at you and go, man, I got socks older than you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the whole thing's going to shut down, and rightly so. And so that's we have watched a lot of family businesses navigate a lot of stuff, and especially the Generation 1. If Gen 2 and Gen 3 will approach conversations and approach change and approach questions with great honor by paying honor, it just goes a long way. It goes a long way. Very few people hate being honored if it's not, as long as it's not manipulative. I mean, and you legitimately respect your grandpa, I'm sure.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, because it sounds like he's worthy of respect and honor to me.
Yeah.
A guy that runs something 45 years, I'm impressed with.
Yeah.
Crap, I've only been doing this 34 years. So,
yeah.
That's a different thing. So it's, wow. Pretty cool. Yeah, but I'm sure you do have something to add to the equation. You just asked me how to add it, and that's what I was teaching. I wasn't questioning the validity of your ideas. You heard that, right?
Yes, I did. Yeah, and I appreciate what you had to say.
Yeah, very cool. Great question, sir. I love that question. It's very, very well done.